What's up, guys? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. Today's video is a little off topic, but I am Jess. I've got my mom here today, and we're going to talk about her Lapband experience. So if you are not interested in bariatric surgery or any of that stuff, this is a good video just to click off. But if you're interested to hear about my mom's story, what she went through, the surgery, taking it out, you know, the whole situation, the details on that, how she's doing now, this is the video for you. I will say real quick, just as a reminder, the Flab Fighter Challenge is gonna kick off on Monday. This Monday, I don't know what the date is, today's the 3rd, 4th, 5th, the 6th, Monday the 6th. And I'm doing a weight loss challenge. I'm just doing a high protein keto. And I'm gonna provide the menu or the meal plan Monday through Friday. I'm gonna take the weekends off, but I'm gonna film everything that I'm eating, and I'm gonna give you the shopping list and let you know basically what I'm doing each day. So it'll be daily videos Monday through Friday, excluding weekends for the whole month of March and the first week of April. So that starts Monday. So anyways,
I never get to be on TV. They don't want to see an old fat guy for some reason.
You're not even on there. You're not even on there.
Get here if you're going to be with us.
And real quick.
Yeah, they don't want to see an old fat guy for some reason, I guess.
So let's talk about the Lapband. So I'll give you, just like in case people have not heard your story or whatnot, just give a quick summary, you know, how long you had it, why did you get it, but you know, just like the cliff notes.
Okay.
If you want to see more on that, I have a whole video. I'm going to link it in the cards where we sat down and talked about her, you know, the Lapband, and that's actually a really good video to see because your opinion was very, like there was no...
From another angle.
Yes. So watch that video and then watch this one after it. So anyways, but give the quick cliff notes version of your Lapband.
Okay, and it's actually not that far off from that other video. I haven't really changed my feelings that much, but long story short, 15 years ago, I weighed a little over 300 pounds and was dying, taking 16 prescribed medications a day, 2 injections a day, 3 breathing treatments a day. I was
Pre-diabetic?
I was also, yeah, diabetic. I was taking the injections called diabeta. And so I had to do something because I was caring for the in-laws and the outlaws. We all lived together, kind of thing. It was, I was going downhill fast and there was a lot of pressure. So I researched all of the options for bariatric surgery because I was in my early 50s at the time, or mid 50s. So the Lapband was the perfect choice for me. So I went that route and had the Lapband put in. Very successfully, had 15 years of progress, or 14 and a half years of progress, and I've lost 150 pounds. And moving away, and it's just funny how things happen, I moved away from the area. The surgeon that originally put the band in me passed away.
He was old.
He was old to begin with. And I think a not positive tracking of the actual, by the manufacturers of the bands, and letting people know that the issues with the band that they found over a time period of like 15, 20 years. But anyway, went ahead, had the Lapband and lost 150 pounds and kept it off for 14 and a half years successfully.
So that was 2008 to 2022, end of 2022. Mm-hmm. So how did you know something was wrong?
I was really good. I was like the poster child for the Lapband. I had my annual visits where they checked to make sure that the band was still there, it was still working, and it, you know, worked as it was supposed to. We did fluid checks and all that. And I did that faithfully every year, even though we moved away, even though that physician had died. In New England, I had another surgeon, bariatric surgeon, following me, and I went annually. But about April of last year, I started getting daily belly aches, like painful belly aches. And it was in the area. I mean, after you live with the Lapband and you go through those experiences, you know what the bellyache is. And I kept saying, there's something wrong, I don't feel well. And so I went to a bariatric doctor down here. She said,
Texas. We're in Texas right now.
And she said, oh no, you're good. And then I asked her, are these supposed to come out? And she said, oh no, that's a permanent thing. It's a forever kind of an implant. I said, okay, because that's what I was told originally too. So it backed up what I thought I knew. And so I went that way, and that went down, and it turned out to be okay. Went to my primary care. I said, do you think maybe I have a wheat intolerance? Because there's something going on in my belly.
She was having similar symptoms than someone who has celiac or a wheat allergy.
And we've been wheat free.
We've been
for
gluten-free
how many years now?
Since 2010.
Yeah, so I mean, we've been like gluten free anyway, but when I found I had it, man, I really had a serious reaction. Did the lab work, that also came back negative. Went home to my primary care doctor in New England. He said, you know what, let's get some x-rays and see if everything's okay. Did the x-rays. Unfortunately, they just went down a little, like 3 inches lower in the chest x-rays, they might have seen something. But the x-rays were not that low, came back fine. So now I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to be living.
No, in addition to that, you were losing weight
And
without
hair.
trying. Hair loss and rapid weight loss.
Yes, and energy.
Yeah, I mean, you just weren't the same person.
Muscle wasting.
Yeah.
My moods changed. I mean, I struggled through last summer.
We knew something was wrong.
Yeah, but we couldn't, there were no answers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it just didn't, it crashed and burned in the fall. They were getting more intense. The pains and the discomfort were getting way more intense. But I did have an appointment, a bariatric appointment already on the books for January here in Texas.
The annual checkup.
So I was going to push her at that point saying, we need to look into this because it's in the area of the band that the belly aches start.
And it was pretty painful. Like it was completely.
Every day, all the day.
Yeah.
And I couldn't eat. Everything, it hurt to eat, everything, right?
So something clearly was wrong. All the signs were there, except the checkups, all the doctors, everybody else says there's nothing wrong. But at that time, you returned for the holidays here. And when she came, like when they come here, you know, I expect to see like my mom and dad in a certain way. I immediately knew something was wrong. Like she just wasn't like, she just wasn't normal. So then, you know, she's been having the pains and I'm urging her to go to the doctor, you know, and she doesn't want any part of it, you know, because.
Oh, you tend to go to the ER.
Yeah, so finally she almost couldn't walk. And I'm like, that isn't normal. Like, that is not normal.
I was in bed. I actually laid down. I'm not a day in the bed kind of person.
She wouldn't go shopping with me, and this lady will shop till she drops. So she wouldn't even shop. I mean,
yeah.
So, but that Friday was right before Christmas, the Friday before Christmas, or the Thursday or something. I was like, you have to go to the ER. There is no way you could be this sore and nothing to be wrong. Like, it's not normal. So,
yeah.
Then you went to the doctor at the hospital right down the street.
Well, that was the next day, and I said, no, I'm not going today. I'll go tomorrow if it's not better. Well, I couldn't hardly get out of the bed because it was like, now I was physically feeling pain so that I couldn't get up out of the bed or out of a chair, right?
So
I, of course, being the nurse, I took my vitals and they were
your
like...
Your blood pressure was 215 over 115. Which is,
I'm like,
it's not normal.
Right, so I said to Keto Dad, I think you better take me because I'm going to have a stroke.
Something's wrong.
Something's really wrong. And they knew within an hour in the ER. I mean, they did chest x-rays, they did a CAT scan, they did blood work. They did, obviously, EKGs because it was presenting as a heart attack. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I was sweating, all the signs of a heart attack.
In addition to that, it was Christmas, so the doctors...
And I was like, I'll be okay.
The pool of doctors weren't really, you know, there wasn't a ton of them to pick from. It's Christmas. And they had to medically transport her from north, like where I am in McKinney, to Dallas to find a bariatric specialist and, you know... They have
a whole floor in the Dallas Baylor Hospital. They have an entire bariatric floor.
So your official diagnosis, though, was what? You had a liver abscess?
I had a liver abscess. I had a liver,
Like
an abscess on my
14
liver.
centimeters? What was
14 centimeters by like 7 centimeters. That's a big abscess. And what had happened is the lap band had actually perforated the lining of my stomach so that the gastric juices came out. Sorry, TMI, but that's what caused the massive infection. And by the time I'd gotten to the ER, I was already septic.
Yeah.
And they said 24 more hours and you wouldn't have been here because
Too far.
the white blood cell count
Like
was
35,000 or something?
yeah,
or-
it was like
it was
way
crazy, off the
off
charts.
the charts. Yeah.
So liver abscess, perforated stomach,
and sepsis.
and septic was
Yeah.
your official like
Diagnosis.
So
Yeah.
what ultimately saved her life and changed her life ended
Yeah.
up just about killing her too.
Yeah.
So, and then she spent, it was a long surgery to fix it.
Yes.
Because it was pretty rough. They
They
were
had
able
to actually break the band up into 3 pieces.
To pull it out.
To pull it out. And plus the port. I mean, you have a metal port in there with a diaphragm, so that all had to come out. And interestingly, the Kyle had done some research after we realized that it
It's
was
the
the
band.
band. And the manufacturer, over time, did say they're a 10-year maximum lifespan. Well, I'm going on 14 and a half.
Yeah.
Nobody told me. They can recall
They
cars.
called it a forever device, but no,
Yeah,
it's a
so
10
much
year.
for the, right, so much for the forever device. No one ever notified me, including the bariatric doctors, that no, this isn't a forever advice. It has a time limit and should come out.
So that's one of the reasons I made this video, is to bring awareness to the fact
It
that
has a time limit. If you have a lap band, it has a time limit. It is not a forever device.
And with that said, you got yours removed.
Yes.
But now the complications after that was, after removal of the band, it still had the,
I have 2 tummies still, even though there's
The
no
band's
band
missing.
restricting. Because I just went yesterday, and because they wanted to take a look to see how the healing was
there's
going.
been a lot of stuff for follow-up care. There's
Oh,
the
yeah.
endoscopy, the x-rays, the blood work. There's been so much post-surgery to get to this point today. And this
Yeah,
has
'cause
been
my-
since Christmas, and we're in March now.
Because the whole stomach area is inflamed and raw, and they likened it to bleeding ulcers. That's the way the inside of my stomach, with all the stuff that went on. And interestingly, because I saw the pictures, because I have to look at these things, I still have 2 tummies, even though there's not a band restricting it. So now what's happening is when I eat, the food goes into the first tummy, and then I'm like shut down, and I can only take a few bites. And I can wait, and then the food will eventually empty into the bigger stomach. So the hope is that's going to all heal. It's an ongoing healing process. I have a deformed stomach, and if I don't get better, and if I do get worse, they will go in and surgically remove half my stomach. So we're hoping that that doesn't happen, and I'm doing
We're 2 weeks before you turn 70. You don't really want to do that at this point.
I don't want to have to go through. That's a major surgery for me. And I'm never really sick. Since I had this and lost 150 pounds, 0 prescribed medications. I'm on no inhalers, no injections, no prescribed medications. What I do take are natural supplements. So yes, the band saved my life, but its time was over, and I was not made aware of that. I mean, obviously I'm in the medical profession. I would have been on top of that, and it would have been out of me for, 10, when it was the 10-year mark. But through no fault of my own, it went bad and it went south. So it was, like she said, it's like the band saved my life, but it almost took it.
So with that said, the $1 million question is, would you do it again? And if you would not, would you get a different version of the bariatric surgery?
So the question is,
If you had a do-over,
would I do bariatric surgery again?
knowing it had a 10-year manufacturer's warranty on it,
Yeah.
what would you do?
First off, do I have any regrets? Absolutely none. If the parameters were the same, today I would still go and have a lap band.
Even knowing it has to come out?
Even knowing that it would be out, and yes, today to me, I would still have the lap band. However, that being said, knowing what I've been through, I still think if you're going to have bariatric surgery from a medical perspective, as a nurse, and as someone who's experienced bariatric surgery, I think the sleeve is a good option because you're not bypassing your stomach.
Medium.
Right, because you have hormones in there, you have acids in there for a reason, to prepare the food before it goes into the small intestine, which is where we take our nutrients. It wouldn't be for me because I just don't like that process of bypassing nutrition. I still would say the sleeve to me is a good option because it doesn't change much. It just is another good tool, and that supposedly is the new permanent thing.
Yeah, I would say if I can't get my act together by fall, I'm probably going to be looking into a gastric sleeve myself. I don't want to do that, so this is why I'm putting all my effort back to the basics, back to, you know, just changing my life with the good choices and all that stuff. That should cover it, but that's my backup plan if I still can't figure it out.
But like 15 years ago, my options weren't that.
No, we
had different options.
Bypass or lap band.
It was bypass or lap band. Bypass was paid by insurance, lap band was cash. So to me, again, 15 years back, that mentality, the knowledge that was available then, to me, that was a great option.
Yeah.
Fast forward 15 years, there are now, in my opinion,
better.
two options that are really good options if you choose to go that route. And also from my perspective, I was in my 50s, okay? I've already tried everything. There isn't a diet out there that I haven't been on unsuccessfully. Even knowing what I know about keto, when I first had my surgery, I was put on a keto diet. They didn't call it keto back then, but I was put on a keto diet. So I have technically been on keto for 15 years. Think about it, right? So, but I don't even know if that would have worked for me. So for me, in my situation, at my time in life, knowing that I had a child who was about to get married and have babies, I want to be around for those children. So I made that drastic decision, and that was the right decision for me. And everybody has to come to their own right decision for you.
Yeah, and that's a real quick, just a disclaimer. We're not saying the lap band's horrible, not saying gastric bypass is horrible, or any type of bariatric surgery is horrible.
Right.
It's just that you do you and pick which one makes sense for you and your lifestyle and that kind of thing. So
and the time of your life.
Yeah, you were out of time. You needed to do something.
I was in my 50s. I had a doctor tell me, you won't be here in 3 years. So, that means I wouldn't have seen Jess get married. So that was important to me to have that.
You needed the
time.
And
I needed to be
drastic measures.
Yeah. you needed better tool.
So I hope that all makes sense, and ultimately, the end of the day, you know, you do you. But that is, I wanted to raise awareness to make sure people that follow me, if you happen to have any of these options, the awareness you can create. That maybe it wasn't told to you, you know, like as many lap bands have been put into people, I feel like those people need to be aware of things to look out for.
They do recalls on automobiles.
Yeah.
Every device that's put in your body, and I know this from a medical perspective, has a serial number. Somewhere they have that serial number to get in touch with that
certain
person.
brands this could be prone to versus other brands that maybe do not have an issue, you know, like, so we don't know officially, but
we don't. And
that
it's
should
almost
be
like forever. There is no forever. And I think what I dropped the ball is maybe I should have been checking through the years. Are these things really forever?
Yeah.
You know, especially after I'd already reached goal and maintained my goal for what, 5-8 years? You know, so for the last 5 to 8 years, I really didn't need the lap band. Right? Because I'd already learned.
It could have come out and saved a lot of pain and possible death.
Right. So maybe I should have checked and said, hey, you know, is this really forever? But I never.
But you did ask the doctor here.
I did.
And she said, nope.
And she said, no, that's forever.
So
I'm like, okay. So I thought I was doing the right thing, but I think sometimes we really should dig a little deeper and maybe not just take one answer.
Yeah, get a couple opinions from professionals or experts.
Right. Do a little research and make sure that what you've got going on inside you is okay. And
if you've had trouble, comment below with your lap band or bypass or sleeve or whatever. Just comment below, just to raise awareness of potential issues. The more knowledge we have, the better prepared we can be. So But I hope that all makes sense. Thanks to Mom for sharing her story.
I got one more thing to say.
Oh.
Do it now so you don't have to make that decision, okay? If you can help yourself so that you don't have to make such a drastic decision to save your life, do it now.
Make the change. So,
Make the change.
anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. We will see you at the next one. Thanks to Mom, and you're headed to Florida to see my sister, so they're not going to be around. We didn't really film much this time around. Also,
Felt like crap so much.
She felt terrible, so that's why you can see her.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm back.
Yeah, so this summer maybe we'll do some makeup videos or something in the summer where we can do some cooking and whatever. So, but she's off to my parents are off to see my sister in Florida, and yeah, so next time you see her, I'll be in New Hampshire with her.
Unless I make you say hi from Florida.
All right, well, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.